Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves. If I'm being honest, over the last couple of weeks, I have been neglecting my plants a little bit. I'm no stranger to neglecting my plants, but this time it just, I felt like I needed a bit of a restart in terms of my love for my plants. This happens every once in a while, and I know that you guys go through it too because it is something that's super common in this hobby. Obviously, I love my houseplants and I love being around them, but sometimes I just feel like I can't keep up with the care, if that makes sense. I have a lot of plants and I probably don't need as many plants as I have. So this video might be a little bit of me decluttering as well, but there are a lot of things that I definitely need to take care of because there are plants that got knocked over and I haven't, fixed those. There are plants that are scorching under bright grow lights right now that I need to move, but that is why I'm making today's video. So yeah, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, definitely continue watching this video all the way through to the end. It'll be, just a bunch of random clips because I am going to try to film all day. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you're here if you are not already. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I also have YouTube memberships and I am planning to do a secret garden behind the scenes tour just for my members. At the top 2 tiers, those who have access to extra content. So if you're interested in that, definitely join because, that's coming soon. But yeah, don't mind that I'm, profusely sweating here. I know it's a little bit gross, but it's about, 35 degrees outside right now. So that is why I'm in a tank top today. I'm gonna start off with one of my shelves. Honestly, this morning, Lumi knocked over a plant and I had no desire to pick it up at that moment. So it's just sitting kind of knocked over with soil everywhere on my shelf, and we're gonna go deal with that now. All right, so this is what we're working with. This is my Terrarium crystallinum here, and obviously you can see it tipped over. I did clean up what was on the floor because I couldn't deal with that, but this here is still a mess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take all of these plants off. Oh yeah, she also decided that this looked yummy, this new leaf coming in, so that's great, but I don't know, recently she's just been kind of picky with her food, so I think that she's like lashing out and trying to eat some plants, but she's fine. Yeah, so that guy's, okay. I put some of the soil back in, so it doesn't need more soil. We also have my sport variegated monstera here, which I chopped recently, and we actually have 2 new growth points, which is super exciting. I feel like this happens every single time I cut this plant. I expect 1 growth point and then I get 2, which is just great. My squammy's doing well too. We're getting some slowly more mature leaves again. And then we also have my epiprimnoides or skeleto. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to kind of taco this up and bring it over to the garbage. Ugh, I'll have to bring the dustpan over again, but yeah, I think the best way is just kind of to taco it and run. While I'm over here, it looks like Lumi needs some new food, so I'm gonna get her all set up there. She was eating a little bit of dry food and a little bit of Nulo wet food, but recently she's been a little bit picky about the wet food, so I think I'm gonna go back to her, what's it called? The fancy feast, just to get her, back used to the texture again. But for now, because, a lot of that food's going to waste, I think I'm just gonna give her some dry food. She honestly absolutely devours this stuff though. Hey, you love it. And it seems to be a really good dry food. I'm just feeding her the Nulo Metal Series Cat and Kitten, the turkey and cod recipe. It's grain-free, it's 84% animal-based protein, and it's got the necessary, vitamins for kittens. And these are the ingredients here. I always look at the first few ingredients to make sure that they're all meat or, you know, fish, something like that. There's definitely some stuff in here that's really filler, like peas and lentils, you know, stuff like that. But as long as the first few ingredients are meat, especially in a dry food, it's pretty good. Okay, and we're back. I'm actually, you know, really impressed with this shelf. As much as it's a wired shelf, it's nothing crazy fancy. I do really like that they come with these sheets because especially when you're putting plants on here and you're watering plants on here, you don't want the water to fall through the cracks. So this saves it from doing that. You can get a little bit of water on the tray without having any difficulty. Yeah, this is looking really, really nice again. Seems to be doing well, about 4 feet from that grow light. The plants down here always do really well. The plants up here though, I will show you in a few minutes, are a totally different story. A lot of these are really suffering, but that is why we're making this video today. A lot of these guys need water too. I did water them recently, but just with the higher temperatures, things are really drying out. I'm excited to see what kind of variegation comes in on these guys here, or the variegated monstera. And then just this guy. If you guys have an Epiprimnoides, you know these cannot be really anywhere near a light source. They have to be in really dim lighting, or the leaves just yellow. I'm getting a new leaf there, which is really nice, but the original leaf on this one completely yellowed off because I had it on the top shelf and again, it suffered. So yeah, those guys are looking a lot better. I'm actually gonna fill up my watering can now and we'll just water these guys so that I don't have to come back to this. A lot of you guys ask me how I water my plants in sphagnum moss, and you know, I do have a video all about growing your plants in sphagnum moss, but when I water them, I like to just water them all the way through like I do my normal plants. There is a little bit of water sitting in the bottom of this tray, which I wouldn't keep just because it'll resaturate the moss, but I water it thoroughly like I would any other plant, and then I just squeeze out the excess water. And then now I'm going to use this tray for the Squamiferum. It'll get some bottom watering action there, but then I'm also going to top water it. All right, there we go. That actually feels really good having at least this shelf done. It's, you know, 4 of my many plants, but small victories, am I right? Now, this shelf is definitely a different story. This is really, really sad right now. The succulent's doing fine, obviously, because it's a succulent. But clearly these guys need some help. This one's actually doing okay. The most recent leaf is actually looking nice. This is my philodendron painted lady. So I think what I'll do is I'll just chop off the bottom leaves. It's got some new growth there. I'll water it and I'll put it somewhere else so that it's not scorching under the light here. Okay, so obviously this has a lot fewer leaves now, but it looks a lot healthier also. So I'm gonna water this guy and then we'll put it probably just right down here. I just found a few extra trays laying around. This will be helpful for watering these plants up here. Surprisingly, even though it's so dehydrated, this propagation of my pubic calyx pink silver is doing well. Here we have an Alocasia frydek, which I'm not sure I have the patience for at the moment, so I'm just gonna put plants that I will probably be tossing on the top here. This is obviously not alive. Also, before I get a ton of comments saying, you know, you could probably save that plant, I know, and I totally respect that, but I don't really feel like it in this instance. And you know, I don't have the energy to be focusing on plants that are already basically gone. Here I have a leaf that I propagated from my squamiferum. It never ended up rooting. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's just really flimsy and the node isn't looking great. I don't think there's actually any auxiliary buds left because the growth point fell off. But yeah, that's going to the garbage as well. Nice. All right, so obviously this needs to be cleaned too. So I'm just gonna take these guys, put them up top, and then I will take the sheet and come back and replace it once it's all clean. This is the natural humidity in here right now, and that is the temperature, just so you know. When you see me sweating again, that's why. Okay, that's so much better. I don't know, I think that I might actually keep this here. It actually looks like it might be acclimating to this amount of light. And I think if I keep up with the watering, which I'm going to try my best to do, I think that it will actually be okay. It's also nice while I'm going through here, I'm just making sure that everything has a tray because as I mentioned in my Lazy Plant Girl Hacks video, it is really helpful to have trays because then when you want to water them or when you can water them, they're already ready. Okay, I feel so much better about that and it's not overdone. You know, I don't have too many plants here. I don't want to be a plant hoarder anymore. So yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. And then once I'm done with all of my other chores, I will end up throwing out whatever is on top of this shelf here. It's just gonna be the dead plant zone for now. So all of these plants here have actually been recently watered. I watered my Syngoniums just a few days ago, so they should be okay. I don't know if you guys ever have this trouble. I think it just might be a lack of light, but I find a lot of the times Syngoniums will neglect to unravel their leaves or unfurl their leaves if they're not given the right amount of light. I have this Syngonium pink spot here and it's really beautiful, but I've got two, you know, just crumpled up leaves there. So maybe I'll swap the spot of them just so they get a little bit more light. They're not under as much cover. But yeah, the batique's doing well actually. It's getting a new leaf coming in there soon. I think that my Wendlandia might need to be repotted soon because it's just, you know, taking over. And some of the lower leaves are starting to suffer a little bit, which leads me to believe that the pot might be just a little bit too small at this point, especially because they need water quite often. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off any dead leaves here. I know there was one yellowing one here somewhere. Maybe? Oh yeah, this guy here. My one trouble plant right now is actually my Hoya acuta variegata. The one plant, I guess, it was two plants in here, but the one plant just kind of completely died off and now it's just a stick in here. I think it needs some water, so I will water this one. But I always have trouble watering it thoroughly in this pot. I think I may need to repot it. I don't have the stuff to do that today, but I will probably have to take it out of the ceramic because I'm just not doing a great job at watering it in ceramic. So we'll just collect the leaf litter here. And then I'm actually gonna bring this guy over to the other shelf to water it so that it's a little bit neater. I think I just worry a lot of the time because the tray on this one isn't really large and it can't hold a lot of water. So if I overwater this one, it's going to spill onto my dresser, which I definitely don't want. But maybe the solution is just watering it elsewhere, like this. The fact that it's bubbling makes me think that it was really dry in there. But yeah, you can see it overfilling. Lumi, you've done enough damage on this shelf today. Can you please get off? I think I need to kind of stack this side with plants so that there's no surface area for her to jump on. But yeah, other than the acuta there, everything else on here is looking pretty good. This guy got some water. I actually am really loving this small plant on the bottom here. I may actually separate it from the larger plant here. I might actually put it in my terrarium too. We'll see how the plants end up doing in there. Lumi. Yeah. Are you gonna explain yourself? Oh, rawr. Hey? Rawr. Anyways, I think that would be a nice addition to the terrarium if that ends up working out. But I did take some recent propagations from this one for some trades, so it is looking a little bit lanky right now. If I had sphagnum moss, I would honestly cut this right now. I really do want to do some node propagation here because you can see there's a lot of empty nodes on this plant, and we could make a lot of new plants from that. So as soon as I find myself some moss, I will definitely be propagating this one. Also, just a quick update from the cabinet. Sorry about the fan there, it makes a lot of noise. Everything in here is doing pretty well. I did move things around slightly just because, you know, things do well, other things don't do well. The Alas River is getting a little bit better. My strawberry shake is doing well. It did put out another solid green leaf, but the last time it put out a solid green leaf, it put out this one next. So I definitely have some hope. If it comes out green again, I might try to propagate it in some way. I'm not sure if that's even possible yet, but you know, I might just let it grow out anyways. I didn't buy this plant, so I don't feel like, you know, if it reverts or anything like that, I'm not gonna be devastated or anything. My aroids are doing pretty well. My snowdrift is getting nice and large again. I am getting a lot of more green leaves, but it is still super beautiful. So what are you gonna do? These are the last of the, you know, really frosty leaves, but I really think that that's more of a juvenile thing. I've definitely seen some frosty large plants, but for some reason it just doesn't want to give white leaves anymore. This Billietier is also starting to put out some really great sized leaves. We're finally getting somewhere with this plant. For the 2 years I've had it, it's kind of put out these smaller leaves, and then now it's just really giving me some size, so that's great. We've also got this new El Chaco red leaf here. We'll see how that comes out. But this thing's just a huge bush at the moment. I think I watered all of these plants recently, so I don't think anything needs water right now, especially everything on these little shelves. I've definitely done them. But this is a really nice update too. I've got some more leaves on my Hoya imbricata. This one is just taking off now that it's finally started to grow. It took about 1.5 years, but then in the last 5 or so months, I've definitely got like at least 3 leaves, so that's really great. I've actually been thinking about putting this one in the terrarium too because it could grow up the cork and finally actually spread out like it's meant to, like a little stingray there. But until I know that the plants in there are gonna do well, I'm not gonna put anything that I couldn't live without, and I'm really loving this plant right now. So yeah, that's my update from the cabinet. Not much to report there. I don't think I told you guys, but I had the begonia Sinbad in here before in my terrarium, but the leaves were kind of melting a little bit, so I decided to replace it with this Anthurium forgetii, and it's doing a lot better. I actually really like the look of that without the silvery begonia in there. Parmesan's just in there hanging out, and Brie is somewhere down in there. I don't know if you, oh, hi, there you are. But yeah, these guys seem to be doing really well, which is making me super happy. They don't do a lot during the day, but at night, they're just little hoppers. They go sit in their little dish and soak up the water. I'm also super proud of myself. I've always been really afraid of crickets, but because these guys need crickets right now, they are getting crickets. And I fed some this morning and they did really well. So yeah, if you have any tips on how to catch the dang things though, that would be fantastic, because it took me like 20 minutes to freaking get 5 of these out of here. But yeah, they're doing well. They're not noisy because they are smaller ones, so they don't really make much noise at all. And we don't have any escapees, which is really nice. I think this lid is doing its job. I haven't actually seen any of them in here able to even, you know, reach the top, but yeah. They just live beside my desk here, and then I also have some mealworms, which I don't think I'm gonna be feeding them much of right now because the exoskeletons on these guys are a little bit too tough for my little frog dudes. But yeah, they're doing well. They're enjoying their life. I also fed them some little night crawlers, which are the worms that you use for fishing bait last night. If I want to feed them a little snack again tonight, I might show you guys that, but it was really cute. So I think I've already mentioned this to you guys before, but my poor little fiddly fig, actually, I don't even give a shit. This thing is the worst. Don't get a fiddly fig unless you want to cry and spend money and waste it. This thing has been a nightmare since the day I got it, and it's only ever lost its leaves, and it's done nothing good. It was very beautiful when I got it, as they usually are, but ever since, that's kind of what goes on. And if you're wondering, that's not haunted. Lumi is in the basket. Yeah, so this guy is going to the garbage today. We're gonna have to bring it downstairs. I don't know exactly how. I don't know, maybe I'll just put it on the side of the road and say free. Get out. Because that plant is gone now, we do have an empty space there. But because there was a dead plant there for so long, I'm actually enjoying kind of the empty space. Are you gonna come out of there? I'm just gonna kind of scope these shelves with you guys. I did water my bipennifolium here recently, so that'll be okay. This here is a little propagation actually that I am rooting in soil. How's it doing? I think it's probably rooted now because it's really difficult to pull out of the soil. So yeah, that's cool. What is this called? Annulata? I think this is the annulata, but I really like this plant, especially when they grow in and are really nice and bushy. They are really beautiful. Sorry, I didn't want to focus there. But yeah, I also forgot to put these cuttings back in the water, which kind of sucks. These are some cuttings from my philodendron Brazil. All right, that's better. And then down here, we have my, what's this called? My Hoya memoria, which is actually doing well. This guy here, this is my Hoya carnosa. Obviously, this needs to go in the garbage. But yeah, we'll do that now. Yeah, so upon checking this shelf, everything looks good. Don't think anything needs to be watered. Actually, I think I really need to water this one. It's been a while and I kind of feel bad. It still looks fine, but it has been probably a month or two. On this side, we have my Hoya Crimson Princess. It used to be so beautiful, and I think that where I went wrong, sorry about the bugs outside. Let me shut the window. I think what my mistake was with this plant was not repotting it right when I got it. The soil was very compacted when I got it, and I think that ever since when I water it, it's actually not really getting through to the roots, and it just kind of sits on the top and drains down the sides of the pot. Yeah, I don't know, this one vine still looks okay, but this is really dead, so I'm probably just going to cut that, and then eventually when this one dies, I'll have to just replace it. I'm not gonna upset myself about it because it's really not worth it. All right, so yeah, the top there is looking a little sparse, but what are you gonna do? The Exotica looks good. I don't think this guy needs water quite yet. And then, I don't know if I told you guys, but I propagated this silver sword for a trade. So it's a little bit smaller now, but still looks really cute. Probably could water this guy right now, which I will do. But yeah, everything else is looking really good on this shelf. So I am pretty happy with the plants in here. I think that I took care of these guys a little bit more recently than I did my plants in my office. As you guys know from my other videos, this plant has just not been doing well for a while now, but that is all due to the fact that my cat likes to just jump all over this thing. So yeah, that is just kind of a plant that's gonna be there until it's not, but it makes her happy and it doesn't make her stomach upset, so that's fine with me. Well guys, I couldn't really tell you if that was a short video or a long video because I can't really tell. until I've edited it. But I hope you guys really did enjoy this vlog. I got a lot done and I feel a lot better about my situation, so yeah, thank you for tagging along. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe down below so that you don't miss out on any future content. If you want to join as a member, you can also do that by clicking the join button. That's going to be all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.